Hello everyone, this is Gorax, and today we're gonna continue going over the Necrosis tanks. We're gonna do two more tanks, two of my favorite really, because they are really good in PvE and PvP, and we're gonna start with Quaesitia. Okay, quite hard to pronounce, I probably pronounced it incorrectly, but it's okay. I played the game without the sound, so it's really hard for me to tell, but what I like about her is basically her skills, as she is really good at controlling enemies in PvP, especially dragging those enemies from the backline using her battle skill, as she drags them, fears them, knock them up, and also inflicts healing prohibitions. So accuracy is quite mandatory to make sure we have more accuracy than resistance, and it's also very handy in Feymander or the Pillars, as well as this skill helps you clear these levels and get those nasty backline heroes. On top of that, her ultimate does knock up everyone in front of her. As you can see here, this is her ability range, and also applies attack penalty, which is very handy. On top of that, she also reduces the ultimate energy and grants herself healing based on attack. On top of that, was also amazing and probably one of the best things. We've been using Elvis in previous seasons just to apply this recharge speed penalty, and now we got Quaesitia, who does so much better at everything else, and when she takes damage, she's got 25% chance of inflicting the recharge speed penalty on the attacker. She also takes 30% less damage from basic attack, so this is why accuracy is once again really important on her, and her aura is also really good as it grants extra defense for everyone on the arena. It works only on the arena, sadly. So how do we build Quaesitia? So there's multiple ways to build her. As I said again, we need to have some accuracy, right, to apply all these debuffs that we have in her kit. So multiple ways to build her, as if you look at her ultimate first, it hits 3 times in the range. So that tells us straight away we need accuracy, and we hit 3 times, which means the upkeep on the Witch's Remain is quite good. So this is one way. If you don't want to use Witch's Remain, or you can't use Witch's Remain or anyone else, she will help you with applying this. Now, if you don't need her debuffs, although you know attack penalty is really important, but if you got someone else applying attack penalty and this hero is not good at applying Witch's Remain, you can go for Conch as well, which is a good for single target, and that's the most important part you need to remember. So this artifact is only good for single target, as it can only hit one target, and this way you don't need to build accuracy. But if you don't build accuracy, you're missing out on this stuff. Okay, now if she's someone who doesn't need to apply Witch's Remain because you have someone else, someone better, you can consider going for Hourglass as well, which grants you accuracy, and on top of that reduce the cooldown of all of your skills, so it's more powerful this way. When it comes to other artifacts that are viable, is if you have no issues surviving, you don't need attack penalty on the enemy, you want to boost damage, you can go for the Chest of Radiance always. It doesn't grant her any defensive stats, but it grants everyone in the team a defensive and offensive stat. So these are the best artifacts that I would go, and I still like going with Witch's Remain for her because it's really handy. When it comes to building her, while she does regenerate some HP, it's not huge, so I wouldn't go for Moonlight Mantle. We can build her in multiple ways. If we need damage mitigation on the team, we would go something like Ancestral Protection set, as this will grant us this damage reduction on the team, and she takes more damage, right? If we don't really need that, or she is tanking against a boss that has strong single target, like for example against the Harpy, if you want to use her, although there are better choices, you can go for the Hope of Oasis set that will reduce the damage taken by her, and then you need to have this Oasis set, the Ancestral Protection set on someone else to mitigate that damage. But if she can survive and you don't need Ancestral Protection, your team can survive, you can go for an offensive option and instead use Serial Protection. As you know, she will apply debuffs constantly, if you have accuracy, which will mean you will have a high upkeep on the serial set that will grant your team an extra attack, so you will do more damage. Those free sets are really viable and a high possibility for you to wear them. When it comes to gloves, once again, you can go offensive, you can even go defensive as well. You can use something like Mark of Austerity, which will basically heal you where you deal damage, or you can replace the chest and go for something else here. Especially if you're playing PvP, you might consider using this Tunnel King's Cloak, which basically 50% chance when to dispel one buff from the enemy when inflicting debuffs on them, and you know, this is something that will constantly apply debuffs, so that's a viable option. Then you just need to put another glove here to basically finish the set. And stat-wise, you want defense, HP basically, and accuracy as well. You know, she can deal a little bit of damage too if you build her with attack, but then she will become squishy, so make your choice depending on the content you're doing. Same for the runes. You can go for HP, defense, go get some accuracy, and look for skill haste as well. If you get something like that, you're looking good, okay, depending on the stats you want. And same here, if you get double, the more haste, the more upkeep on this ultimate and the battle skill as well, so make sure you utilize that. And I believe when the Quaesitia was released, she was really powerful, especially in PvP. People have been using her, people are still using her, but also in PvE, she's very versatile and has a really good kit that you can use. You can even help, she will eventually help you with all this nasty PvE content that have this heroes units hiding behind the wall of tanks, and you can just pull them in and go through all of that. So let me know in the comment section if you've been playing Quaesitia, and if you did, where do you utilize her the most?